Well, let's get down to business, okay? Um, what we're going to start with, we have a few different tools that we're going to focus on today, and we're going to look at Google Calendar, Google Keep, Google Tasks, and of course Gmail. And I know that you're probably familiar with all of these at one level or another, but what I want to do is I want to show you maybe some ideas that you hadn't thought of uh, before that can save you those little chunks of time we talked about. So Ashley, let me know now if you're seeing my screen. It should be black with a bunch of boxes on it, correct?
Yes, we can see it.
Perfect. Let's start with Google Calendar then today. Okay, so here's my Google Calendar, and it's not too full right now because we're in the summer, but I know that all of our calendars can really fill up quickly, and it's a great way to keep track of all the different things that we're doing. It's important not to double book, and it's important to organize and prioritize our personal issues, our personal appointments and things like that, as well as the different school ones or work ones. So I want to point out that this is actually just a stack of many different calendars, and we will be looking at this today. So I could take one off or put it back on, and you can see the different stacks come on. I like to think of it as like sheets of old transparencies. You know how you could write something and then stack another one. But let's get right down to a couple of things that might be useful for you. And I've tried to be flexible today because I understand we're all a little bit unsure on what our work will be like as we get back to business. Maybe we'll be face to face with people, maybe we will not. One thing that we can use in Google Calendars that would be useful for either of those would be the appointment calendar. So you can see, let's say I wanted to make some appointments to meet with students. If we were remote, this might be like check-ins. I just want to check in with each student to get that relationship with them. If we were live, maybe this would be something like parent-teacher conferences. But each calendar actually has built in the ability to kind of make a second calendar that's related to it that will be working for appointments. So I'm going to demonstrate that. So let's say I wanted to use Thursday morning for appointments. I'm just going to open this up, and instead of selecting an event, I'm going to select appointment slots. And let's say I just needed to meet every 15 minutes with the kids. I'm going to crank this down to 15 minutes. And what it's going to do, actually, I'll open more so you can see. I can go in here. I can make this repeat. So like every Thursday, I could make it go every weekday, whatever I want. I mean, this is very customizable. If I wanted a description too, I could say, this is a check-in. Oof, oof. These people coming in. We're going to quit letting them in soon. Okay, so this is a check-in. And I save that, right? Now, if we go back to the calendar, you can see this is not just a regular event. You can see the little grid here. And what that means is if I click on this, if I look, it has made an appointment page for this calendar. So I'm going to click on this, and it's going to show kind of another version of my calendar, but you can see all these little 15-minute slots. Now, I can share this link. Let's just experiment with it. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to give it to you right now. I'm going to try to put this in the chat box. And if people want to click on that and see what happens, go ahead. Let's see what happens. I would think you'd come up to this and you would see the little boxes, and you would be able to click, okay, I want this time slot, or I want this time slot. It's kind of hard to organize a billion people's schedules, but with appointment slots, that's a lot more useful. So I'm thinking about David, who has 250 students online. This would be really nice for checking in with them. Now you can just make the appointment slots and say you're responsible to join, 2 times a week or whatever. So you guys be able to get into that? Go ahead and set an appointment if you want. I'd love for people to see what happens. I won't hold you to the appointment if you don't show up. We'll delete it in just a second. So the way you would join, you just click on one of those boxes and it should pop right up. Okay, so you can see on my calendar now, it's filling in. So I would be able to see what's happening at these different time periods. That's really useful for me. That makes an event on my calendar. And then if I go back.
Nate?
Yeah.
A question is how can we make your calendar page bigger so that we can see it better?
You can't, but I can.
Okay,
I'll
perfect.
go like that.
That would be great. Thank you.
How's that? Is that a little better?
That is a little better.
Okay. Yeah, that's. So you can see these fill up, and once you have taken a slot, it's no longer available for other people. And so all I had to do was share that link. That was pretty fun. Now I'm going to delete that because I don't want to. I'm deleting this. So goodbye. Events deleted. I'll delete all those other ones later. But that's very useful. That was the first thing I wanted to show you. Now, the second thing I want to show you, all
Nate,
of these.
We have one more question. So is
yes.
This one, Heather Frankum's asking, so is this a link I can send to parents to sign up for things?
Great question. Absolutely, yes. That link is live for anybody. You could put that on a website. You could even text it out, and it's going to give everybody that appointment calendar so they can fill in the blanks whenever it works for them too. Super useful. I mean, I know it's a nightmare trying to make everybody's schedules meet up. So that's a very useful thing. You can just say, I'm available these times, these times.
And one other question, does it connect to Google Meet?
Great question. It does. If I click in here, you can see I'm clicking these separate appointment slots. Then I could just say join with Google Meet. And so that would be super useful because we could just jump right back into a Google Meet. And you don't have to be sending links or messing with it or anything. It just puts it all together for you. And I think that would save a lot of time. So that's a good one that sometimes people don't use.
Nate, do you also know if it meets confidentiality requirements?
I think that so I'm not a lawyer, right? But as long as you're working within your educational domain, it does have all the protections that are needed. To be honest with you, I'm not 100% clear on what that question is asking, but I do know that Google Meet and everything within the educational domain, I know districts where it's been used for everything. So I would think it's quite useful. And can other parents see the people? No, I don't think so. I think what happens is well, maybe they can. That's a good question. Yeah, if they could, they would only see the name, right? Oof. And then if I come back here, you can see this is my email. I'm getting all this. I'm told, oh, all these people are setting appointments. So I'm like, oh, wow, I'm busy now. That's great. How fun is that? So that is appointments. I want to point out that all of these things that we're talking about today, they're also available on mobile apps too, which is super useful because then you can be working on your phone, your Chromebook, your laptop, wherever, right? And I want to show you a couple things with Google Calendar. That these are just some screenshots that pop up. I just took some screenshots from my phone. These were actually on my phone, right? So here, this one is a kind of a neat thing. If you're totally into goals, right, it will help you set goals. So like you want to make time for your family, boom, use the mobile app and it'll help you carve that time out. If you want to do yoga or exercise, go for it. Who cares, right? I mean, you can do that. And so it helps you to set goals. And I think that's a really neat feature on the mobile app. Here's a view that kind of shows what it looks like on the mobile app as well. And it's, very similar to the other one. You can choose different views. And last but not least, I just want to show you here when you open up on the mobile app, you just click goal, and that's how you would get to setting the goals. So I thought those were kind of fun to show. So let's talk about sharing a calendar, right? Because that's really the power of Google Calendars is collaborating so that you don't overlap or you don't have to worry about who's doing what when. Ooh, that phone call is getting hung up. So if I come over here, you could see all these different calendars. So for example, here is my, this is a calendar for some work I'm doing with the digital engineers. If I wanted to share this calendar, just this one only, so you can see things come on and off when I toggle this. If I wanted to share just these things, I could come to any of these calendars, and that's those three dots on the right. I could come over to settings and share. It shows my calendar. I can put a description if I want. And here's where I would add people. So if I wanted to share this with Michelle Richardson, I could just go boom, and she's in there. And it's important to put this where you want it. If you want people just to see what's going on, that's cool. If you want them just to see you're busy, you can do that as well, and I'll show you what that looks like. Or you can make them able to add or subtract things from your calendar. So sharing calendars is really nice, a nice way to collaborate with people, whether you're working with them, whether they're across the hall or whether we're working remote. It's important to collaborate in this way. Sometimes schools will have a school calendar, an activity calendar, things like that. And you could see here's a calendar that was shared with me. This is actually a personal calendar of mine, but I don't want, like if I say, if this is like get root canal number 47, I don't want that up there for everybody to see. So I just have it set to show I'm busy or not busy. And so you can do that. That was an important thing I wanted to show. And also, I just wanted to point out really quick before we move on, you have the option to view these in different ways. So this is my daily. If I wanted just a schedule that shows what's happening at different times, there it is. If I want a 2-week, yes.
A quick question from Patrick. Can we share with a class that is set up on Google Classroom?
Absolutely. And to be super convenient for you, Google Classroom automatically creates a calendar for each class that you create. So if I were to have some calendar, they might show up over here under the other calendars. So that is very helpful. So then, if we can teach the kids how to use this also, it's very convenient. And there are other calendars too. I'm just going to show you. If I want to go to calendars of interest, there's a lot here. So if I'm like, I'm into Boise State football. Let's see if it's in here. Come on. Oh, there it is, Boise State Broncos. Yeah. So if I click this, it's going to enter all Boise State Broncos games on the calendar, so I can make sure I don't double book and I can see them all. And if I want to preview, I could click that too. There's lots of calendars in here that you can look at and browse. And to add them, you would just check the box. So I want to give you one bonus. I told you I would show you one bonus tool, and I'm going to do that right now. And then I want to give you a few minutes to play with your calendar so that you can ask me any questions. So here is the bonus tool. It's called Doodle, and you can get a paid, you could get a paid version, but the free one is just as good. If you need to make a meeting and you're like, I can't coordinate 5 different people, I don't know when they're available or whatever, you could just come here and you go create a doodle, and you just type like, meeting. And then I would click times when I am available. So like, oh, I'm available there, I'm available there, I'm available there, I'm available there. And so these come up as like possible meetings. And then I can email all those to people, and it makes a little poll. And so people are like, yeah, I'm available at this time, I'm available at that time. And so it's kind of like everybody votes. And then at the end, see, so here's where I put the emails. You just say, okay, well, 14 people said they could come this time. You said you can't, so that's tough. Make an arrangement to be here. So that's the bonus. I said I'd give you a bonus tool. So that's a bonus tool for you. So let me pause here. I want to give you about 4 minutes to just play with your calendar. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box and Ashley will yell at me in a nice way.
We have our first question. Can we share the Google Classroom calendar link with parents?
Oh, that is a good question. Yes, you are able to share any calendar with people you want because you have those little settings. That's a good question. And the reason that's possible is because it's not going to have any, your calendar's just going to have events, assignments, things like that. So it wouldn't be breaking any privacy, wouldn't be a privacy concern. I'd really suggest to everybody, go to your settings and check it out. You can change all kinds of things and it's fun. To me, customizing things is like super fun. That's really what it's all about, right? I mean, you can come down here, you can have it start, you can set your work days, so you're like, I only want the work day to be from 8 to 7 or, whatever. You can set it whatever you want. And you can say, I want it to be starting on Sunday or I want it to be starting on Monday, or there's all kinds of things you can do in here. Fun stuff. Give me just a couple more minutes. If there's any other questions. I'm looking here. I clicked my appointments link. It does automatically put the meeting link. It does. So that's a good question. So the appointment is in Google Calendar. It's going to be created as a meet, but you could always in the description add a link to Zoom if you wanted. The issue with that is then you're going to be copying and pasting and moving all these links around, and it's maybe easy to get it put in the wrong place or something. So that's.
How do we keep our personal calendars separate from our professional calendars if everything is synced together?
That's an awesome question. So over here you can see on my calendars, and I think it's a really good idea to do this. You can see a lot of these are mine. Right now I am at 11 different Gmail accounts for different people I work with and stuff. And so it's important to keep them separate. This one, for example, is a personal one. And so what I did when I had logged into this account, I just went to the sharing, and I shared it with my work email address and so on. So if I wanted to share my work email address with a personal account, I'd go here to settings and sharing, and you'll probably be able to see I've shared with myself. And since it's me, he can see all events. Yeah, he can see all events. And these people are just bosses of mine, and so they can see the events too, right? And so that is the way you keep the personal. They're all here, right? But if at any time I don't want to see, like if you look at these gold ones, that's the personal. If I don't want to see those right now, I'll just unclick it, and so it comes off. But I leave them on because I don't want to overlap, right? I don't want to book work stuff if I have some important home stuff. So that's nice. And so I definitely recommend having a personal calendar and a work calendar, and then just overlapping them. Excellent. Well, if it's okay with everybody, I'm going to move on. Let's move on to Google Keep, because Google Keep is awesome. So here's my Google Keep, right? It's kind of like, just like, back in the day, I would write little sticky notes and I put little piece of paper everywhere. And then it got to the point where I had a little basket on my desk and I just throw them all in that. And every once in a while I go through them all and then just trash them. Well, this is a way you can save really anything and use it to just keep track of all those things. We have just notes. I want to take just a regular note. So you can see always at the top, it says take a note. Over here, it shows reminders. So if I want to make a reminder for myself, I can schedule a reminder, like, hey, take out the trash or whatever, right? You can see from my notes, There's all kinds. You can save pictures. You can save websites. You can save links. You can type in. I could even come here and I can be like, people to compliment.
Can you make it
You
a
know,
little
like
bigger, please?
I can.
Thank you.
How's that?
That looks-
Better?
Yep.
Okay. And so as I come down here, like there's a lot of different options. I can do a lot of things with this. I'm gonna close this actually. And you can see I can start right off the bat. I can do, this is actually what I meant to do. I'm leaving that. I could do a list, right? So it'd be like people to compliment. Ooh. And then as I put them, it makes like a little checkbox, right? So then it's like a to-do list. I'm like, oh yeah, I should. And as you do them, they get checked off. That's kind of useful if you want a quick to-do list. That's very useful. Also, you can see over here, I could do a drawing. So if I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I'm working on this thing, and yeah, I've got this plan. I got these highlights. I mean, I'm not going into deep art here, right? But you can save that, and then I could say my idea, and then it's going to save my little drawing. Something now, again, going back to the mobile. If I go to my mobile and I have the app, you can see it gives me take a photo, add an image, drawing, voice recording, which is really nice. So if I just want to save a voice recording, like, you know, I don't have time to write it in, I can do that. And once you take a photo, you can see like this one I did. It's my dog that was super sleepy. You can draw right on top. So you can get an image and then you can draw on top of it. So if you don't want to do a picture of dog world, that might not be useful, but maybe if you're trying to show how to do something, right, you could take a picture of a document and kind of make circles on it or whatever. And then that's really useful. I think using this for, you know, labeling, maybe there's like something cool in a, I don't know, like in a magazine. You can take a picture of it and you say, I want to remember that. And so you'd mark on it and say, remember this idea or something like that. Those are really useful. I thought I had, let me scroll here a little bit. Okay, so here's a picture actually I took out of a magazine, right? And this was cool. It was just a camera review, but I can come here too, and I could say, I just want to remember that text. So I'm going to grab the image text. And if I look down below, it's not perfect, especially depending on the font, but it's really nice to get here, right? And so if I'm doing a lot of note taking or things like that, I can really get a lot of things. I can't copy this, but I can copy this, right, and put it right into a document. And speaking of that, yes, go ahead.
There's a question in the chat box. Can you save websites?
You can save websites. Let's see here. I don't think I have it installed here. Maybe I should. Let's go app downloads. So if I want to get the Chrome extension, there's, I do have it. Where is it? Is it dark? I can't see. I have so many extensions. So with this Chrome extension, whenever you're on a website, you just click it and it'll say add to Chrome, right? So let's see if I can do something. Let's say if I want to add. Yeah, so I just right-clicked here and it says Google Keep's Chrome extension, and I would just go save this to keep. So if I was on, I don't know, like I'm on a science page and I'm like, oh yeah, that would be really great lesson idea or something to share with kids or something, right? Now watch, this is going to be like a super extreme website. It's going to take days to load. I'm going to let it load and then come back. But yeah, I just right click on it and then say save to keep. I'll just do this one. I'm closing that one. And there it shows it saved the link, and I could take a note. I could be like, yes, this is great. And it's saving it. It says saved. Let's see. So here it is, the link and my notes about it. So all these things are really good. And now once you could see it's easy to get a lot of things here fast, right? And organizing is key. So over here on the left, you can see my labels. So I have calendar pick. That was just for today, right? The pictures I want to share for calendar and for Keep. But I have some other things I work on. So here's my Nevada Department of Education Digital Engineers notes right here. Nate's Brain is just stuff that I want to remember. NWRPDP would be work related to that. Innovations in learning, whatever, right? And so any of these things, so if I'm on this tile, we'll call it, I can say, you know, I really want to add a label. So I click on these three dots and I want to add a label, and it's going to say, yeah, let's put this in the idea layer and Nate's Brain. These are some good labels I want. And you can see that it puts it right up there. I also could just do like a hashtag Nate's Brain, and it would, oh, I do not want to enable Siri. That should, yeah, see, so it added Nate's Brain. And the beauty of labeling these with different things is, if I wanted, you might have noticed before, when I wanted just the calendar pics, if I click just on this label, it brings up only those. All the other ones are gone. So if I want just Google Keep pictures, here they are. If I want just stuff related to this, here it is. And so that's a great way to sort. Also, you can change, I like changing the colors. For me, if I think it's like super urgent, I'll make it red and just kind of go down from there. So you could see this was something I thought I should probably be working on. And if I decide I don't need something anymore, I can just go here and delete it. So this is just replacing that, you know, basket of sticky notes all over. And the beauty of this is all these notes are instantly synced to my phone, to all devices. And so I don't have to worry about, oh, what did I write on that little piece of paper? Where is it? Oh, it went through the washing machine. Now I'm freaked. Yes.
For those who've used Keep like this, would you say it's better than Pinterest?
I am not a big Pinterest guy. So I think whenever you say, is it better? I can't say it's better or worse, but it does integrate. Maybe I'll show you something super cool here that might be an option. So if I had this was an outline actually that we made when we were talking about stuff, right? If I wanted to turn this into a document, I can just go save, copy to Google Docs. And so after you start typing up a zillion things, then all of a sudden you can turn it into a document. And so that, let's see here, prove it's in here. Just go to recent. And yeah, there it was. Oh, reloading. Oof, come on, internet. Don't fail me now, buddy. But there it is. So if I open this up, it has turned my little document, or it's turned my notes into a document, right? Oof. I'm getting too many tabs going here. There it is.
Question.
Yes.
Can you add a date so that it will show up on your calendar as a reminder or a to-do list?
Yeah, so that would be the difference on reminder. That's to make reminders, right? And so this would be like a to-do list. Note is just a note. Reminder is just that, and you can get whatever notification you want to get.
And how do you set up the personal notes on the left side of Keep?
Oh, perfect question. So to set up like the labels here, all I'm going to do would be, I would go down to edit labels, and it gives me create a new label. And so I can make whatever ones I want. So, or I can delete, right? If I don't want one, I'll just delete it out of there. And so as projects come and go, it's really useful to set up what's nice for you. And, you know, you can, you know, back to that Pinterest question, kind of, I mean, you know, it's hard, you know, to say what's better. I like Keep because it links in with everything, right? I mean, and I can just easily drag. I've seen teachers who will take, you know, like, I think I probably have one down here, like a little picture of like, you know, like a picture of themselves that's like saying awesome, you know, like a Bitmoji or something. And they'll just use that as a quick, yeah, like something like this. And then you just have it and you're just like, I want to copy that. And then I want to paste it onto a paper, right? And that's like a quick comment way to do comments on kids' things. So yeah, I can't really say one's better than the other, but I'm a Keep fan. If for me personally, Keep. So there, I committed Keep. Okay. And record voice. Okay, so on to bonus. Just another way to annotate things. I'm going to wakelet.com, and I'm really pushing this baby to the limit today. So on Wakelet, this is just another way to sort things. So I can create a collection. This I use if I'm going to a conference and there are different ideas I'm looking for. I might make one for like personalized learning, technology, blah, blah, blah. And then you go, and then it's just kind of like Keep. You can quickly take pictures or add notes or things like that. So that's your bonus. Well, I want to give you some time to play. So please play around just a little bit with your Google Keep. If you don't have it yet, I really suggest putting your phone to use also, and put the app on your phone, because that way they'll all sync, right? And then if you're out and about and you see a good idea, you can just quickly take a picture or a voice recording, and then it keeps everything together.
Quick question.
Remember, the whole idea is save yourself some time. Yes?
Is the link keep.google.com?
The link is keep.google.com, or you can always go up to the waffle that has all your tools, and there's going to be a Keep icon. One other thing I'm just going to show while you're playing around is I could share these. So if I wanted to share this with somebody, I could say, you know, I want this person to be a collaborator. So if I wanted to share this with Ashley right now, I'd be like, boom, and I save it. And now that's going to be appearing on her Google Keep as well. So if you're working in conjunction with another person, then you can share. I'm trying to find, so you can see this one is shared, so it shows different people on it. And so that's useful. This one's shared. This one here is shared. It has the people who are sharing, which is cool. And about that reminder too, if you wanted a reminder for a specific box, you just click the little bell, right? And you can say, remind me, and that will make a reminder for that specific box. So that's a good way to do that too. So please play. I hope this is useful for everybody. You're a quiet group. I'm hoping it's just because your microphones are off.
Heather says, put the extension on your Chrome bar, and anytime you are surfing, you just click it and you can add stuff to keep it in one step.
Yep. Yeah, and wow. Talk about a way to fill up your Keep super fast. You can totally do that.
Oh, I just got a notification. He shared a Google Keep with me.
There we go. You just got a notification. Yeah, and that's really nice. I mean, talk about, you know, it's tough when we're not like in the same building, right? And we're trying to work together with people. I love notifications for that reason, because then, you know, you can be like, hey, look at this. And it doesn't have to be like a long sit down meeting where you're like burning time that you really don't need to burn, but you can really work together. And on a personal level, you know, you get all these tools. Whenever you sign up for Gmail, you have all these tools linked to that account. So let's say, you know,
Nate, I'm going to cut you off. Linda,
Please do.
can we have more information on wakelet.com? And then what did we say about the Chrome extension? Maybe you can answer that better.
Yeah, so the Chrome extension, if I was showing that Chrome extension up here, it's just going to be the little blue or the little yellow light bulb like this. And whenever I'm on a web page that I like, I would just click that extension and it would make it into a keep tile. Also, when the extension is installed, you can just always go to anyone. You just right click and it will add it in there. And as far as Wakelet, Wakelet is kind of similar. It's just another tool for organizing ideas. And you could just poke around on that website to see what it looks like. I was not gonna. I really don't have time today to like go deep into Wakelet. Maybe that would be another topic we could do another time. And I want to finish my idea about personal. You know, you could. You know, let's say you know, my wife and I were remodeling a bathroom right now. So let's say we're out and we're like, oh, let's find cool sinks. You know, and I'm at the store and I see a cool sink. Well, I can share. You know, I could take a picture and share it, and we could have. You can collaborate on a personal way too, you know, about whatever. Again, with voice, with pictures, with notes, all of that. So this can be useful in your personal life too. So since we're going super, time flies. We said time was going to fly today, didn't we? And we were right.
We did.
Okay. Well, I want to talk to you about tasks. And Google Tasks is basically just, I'm going to take that off since it has your phone number. Sorry.
Can you make it a little bigger, Nate?
Yeah, I will make it a little bigger.
Thank you.
So Google Tasks is just making lists, right? To-do lists. And I'm not going to talk a lot about TaskSboard. This is tasksboard.app. To be honest with you, I've never been to the page until preparing for this workshop. I do use tasks a lot, but I'll show you how to do it. So this one, I could say get to work, Nate. I could say chores. You know, you can make lists for anything. Gifts to buy. I'm just making this up, obviously. And all I do is I click, I want to add a task, and I would type it in there. But I want to show you how I use tasks, because I don't ever come to this separate board. So I'm going to close that actually. Bye. So here now we're getting to the big one. This is Gmail, right? And most people hate Gmail, but I don't know if you noticed, but on the side you have all these little icons. We've got Google Tasks, Google Keep, Google Calendar. And the real power is going to be when we're using them all together. So the time we want to spend together, I want to show you how you can do that. By just clicking this little icon, it brings up, you can see these are that's my Get to Work Nate list. If I go here, that chores list could be their gifts to buy. I'm just going to leave it on Get to Work. And whenever I finish something, oh geez, I was supposed to do that. That I did finish, so I'll just click check, and you can see it goes away. Now let's say I want to edit this. I can add subtasks too. So I might say like fix agenda. So you can have subtasks.
Nate, can you one more time, please?
Can I do what?
Can you make it bigger again, please?
Oh yeah, sorry. There we go. So I'm just making subtasks here, and then when I go back, you will see now my big chore has a lot of these subtasks ready to go. And so that's really for me useful. And I know some people think it's super motivational because you can go to the bottom and you can see how much work you've been doing, right? So it'll say, oh, you've done 478 things. You're working so hard. So that's fun. So I like that. But I would be a clown if I didn't invest a lot of time here on Gmail, because Gmail, poor Gmail, it's so misunderstood, right? People don't, what invitation. Yeah, I'll accept that. So I got distracted. Gmail is super awesome, but some people just hate email. They're like, oh, I'm just going to put that off. I'm going to ignore it. My first piece of advice is please don't ignore your email. It's not going to go away, and then it just builds up. I have a personal goal to never let my inbox get more than 20, right? And I think everybody should set a goal. Now, I understand you have more that get read, and then it still kind of hangs around. And we're gonna talk about how to sort and how to tame your email so you don't end up with like 300. I've seen people with thousands of emails in their inbox, and it's like, come on, people. That's people trying to talk to you. Well, not always, right? But sometimes it's spam or something, but we're going to talk about that. So let's talk about what you should do with your email right off the bat. So I've left my email this morning so we could just go through what I do as my routine, right? And I'm going to show you. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go through, I'm going to close this for now so it's a little bigger. And I'll show you how to do this later, I like to go like this. And so it shows a preview on the right and the emails on the left. And I start and I just crush through them, right? So let's start here. Melissa Waite sent me an invitation to kiss her. Yes, I'm going to accept that. And now I know I'm done. Robin Jordan wants me to do this. I'm going to have to do this later. These all were just, these are just invitations from the appointment slots. I know I don't need those, so right now I'm just going to hit delete. And you could see I'm crushing through all these emails fast. It's giving me a preview on the right, which is fine, but I don't need these, so I'm taking care of that. Now here's another one that maybe I don't need, but these guys send me stuff all the time. And you probably get emails like that and you're like, man, these guys waste so much of my time. So
how did you do the preview, easy. Nate?
I will show you that. That's in the settings. I'll show you that at the end. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But no, it's no problem. When you open an email, there's always going to be this right here. So this one, I'm tired of Visme showing me stuff. So I'm just going to say unsubscribe. Yeah, unsubscribe. And now that one's gone. Okay. Unsubscribe is a super important thing to use. This one I like, but I don't want to read him right now. Maybe I'm going to archive it. Archive means I'm going to save it for later, but I don't want to see it on my front screen. So if I archive it, it's gone. It's archived. Here's a LinkedIn. I don't need to read that.
Nate, when you archive it and it disappears, where do you go to recover it?
Yeah, I will show you that. I promise.
Okay.
This one's a good one. I want to see this later. So here's another option. I'm just going to snooze it until tonight. So it goes away, but it's going to pop back up. So if it's like, oh, I need to do this by, like the other day, I got an email about renewing my registration on my car registration, but it wasn't due till the end of August. So I just snoozed that and for a month, right? So I know I'm keeping it and it'll come back. This one, I don't need that. I don't need this. So you could see you just go through. Other things that you might need would be something that you save. Now, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go to the thing. Where's your archive stuff? So you could see over here. These are my boxes. Inbox is what I'm seeing. And if I scroll down, you can see I've made all these labels. And if I'm working on things and I want to sort them, I'll just drag them. So, you know, if I'm like, oh, you know, this, I want to buy some sticker mule stuff. Let's put that on internet. That really shouldn't go in there, but I'm going to show you, I can just drag it there. And then it disappears out of my list. I better undo that so it's not there. But to get to back to the original question, I'm feeling crunched for time if you can't tell. If I go to more and I can scroll all the way down and say all mail, if I click that, it will reveal all my archived mail also. So if I say all mail, you could see it's loading because there's a lot of them in there. We probably just broke the internet. But they trust me, they will appear down here, and it will be awesome, an awesome amount. I really don't want to see all. So I'm just going to go back to my inbox. So again, to categorize, we have no action. That would be either delete or unsubscribe. Save, which is probably important. And you can create your labels. Now, you should all think in the time that you're going to get to work on your own Gmail, you should think, what would be useful labels for you? Maybe parent interactions, maybe interactions with students, maybe messages from your boss, something like that. All you need to do is come down here, scroll all the way to the bottom and say create new label, and it will let you make a label. And you could even nest it underneath something else. So if I said like messages from school, I could say student lessons underneath that. And I could say, or student messages. I could say parent messages, whatever. You can organize it however you want. And those labels come up over here. You could see mine are color coded, and you just do that with the 3 dots. So you can, you just quickly look at them and see what's going on. Now I mentioned, yes, go ahead.
Can you merge multiple Gmail accounts so all of your emails come up at one glance?
That's an awesome question. And that's what I was just going to get to. You could see these are tagged with these labels. These are actually emails that are coming in. This one, for example, was emailed to nwait@nwrpdp.com. These were emailed to nwait@nde.de, whatever it is, right? And so you can set these all to come in with the tag, and I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to go up here to my settings, and I'm going to go to see all settings. And David, I owe you a setting too, don't I? I'll show you that setting that you wanted to see also. So if I come into here,
I found it.
Yep. Okay. If I come here and I go to filters, you could see these filters are coming from all incoming email. So if I get an incoming email from this email address, it's applying a certain label to it, right? And if I want to forward email to an address, you can see this is how you would do it in here. I'm getting everything going into this one, so I don't want to forward anything out. But what I did on my other accounts was I said, forward a copy of this email to waitn@churchillcsd.com. And then they all come here. Once they come here, then I made a rule. And in these rules and filters, you can make it do a lot of things, which is really nice and super useful. Now, one last thing I really want to show you. Oh, I'm going to show the filter. I'm sorry. Not the filter. Another thing that you definitely should play with would be go to advanced. And these are like different little options you can add to your Gmail that really save a lot of time. So the auto advance, it just moves it on. I like that. So like you saw when I deleted things, the next one would automatically pop up. And let's see. Templates, custom keyboard shortcuts, all of these in here, right? Template, I got to show you templates too. If I'm making an email, it's like a canned response. Like there's some things we always say to people, right? So if I turn that templates on, oops, I'm going to say, no, not there. Not there. Where's templates? Let me show you scheduled send. If I have an email that I don't want it to go out until like after school, you can type it up and then schedule it to send at a certain time, something like that. And man, I'm almost out of time. That's why I'm jumping around. I'll tell you what. I really hope that you'll take a chance to take a look at the settings in here. Go to your settings, make it look the way you want. That's it. That makes it less painful, right? And with your emails, set up a signature line, vacations, things like that. If there's something you have a question about, I'm going to put my Twitter in the chat box again. Please send me a tweet, and I will get back with you on that. Now, before we stop today, I know that your time is valuable, so I want to honor that. Also, there are some links. I'd like to share this link with you. If you would fill this out, please. This is a form that documents for me, who is here today, also for you at the completion of filling out this form. It will generate and send to you a certificate of completion for your professional learning documentation that you can submit for 1 hour of professional learning time. But for the last 2 minutes, I just want to open it up for questions and
Nate,
for anything, practice, anything like that. Yeah, go ahead, Ashley.
All the participants that are live with me, they're not able to click on this link. Would you just email it to me and then I'll forward it to everybody in this?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And that is one of my rules too. If I can do something within 3 minutes, I just do it right there so I don't forget. So that's a productivity tip, I would say. If you can finish it within 3 minutes, just do it. And then you don't get a lot of things adding up. That task right there, for example, if I would have gone to tasks, typed send Ashley a link, that would take just as much time as just doing it right there. So save yourself some time. And, for the last few minutes, if anybody has any questions and you just want to unmute yourself and ask away, that's super, no problem. I understand it's 10:30, so if you need to go, I really appreciate your time. And I'm glad you joined us today. This is the first in a series of, I think, 6 workshops. And I hope you consider coming to some of the others. I think they'll be useful for you. I'll always work on this kind of a format where we'll show something, give you some specific things to practice or try out, and hopefully you'll leave with a little bit more than you came with. Nate. So I see Linda's asking for the link there. That if you just click that form, if you would click on that, Linda, that will create the certificate and it will be emailed to you.
Nate, it's not allowing me to open that note you shared with me. Would you just mind copying and pasting that into an email?
Yeah. You're talking about the form link?
Yes, sir.
I just put it also in the chat if you want to just copy it out of there. Then you already have it. I'm checking it right now. It looks like it's coming up. Could somebody just verify that they're getting into the form?
It works on the link that you put on the chat.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to send it from Lauren's email.
I'm going to put in here a couple times so if it gets buried. Yeah, we're having people who are having success, so that's a good sign. I'm going to look on here right now. Yeah, we already have a couple of you. And if you wait for just a minute, that email is going to shoot right into your inbox. So I see Katie, you should be good to go. Verity, you should be good to go. Shauna, so Melissa. So yeah, I can see I'm starting to go through now. That's great.
I did have a question about these are being recorded.
Yes.
I can't make one of them. How is it possible to access them at a different time?
This was done for Lander County. I think if it's okay with you, Ashley, is it okay if I'll probably just put them on YouTube. And is that okay?
That is great, but would you also just share it with me? I'm going to send it out in an email form to all Lander County staff.
Yes. So what I will do is I will put that YouTube link once it's put to YouTube. I will put it on, you know, the form that had all the outlines of all of them. I will put a recorded link in there, so you can always go back to that original document and get that. Yeah, and that's important. I mean, I get it. It's summer and you guys have lives and you got stuff going on. So if you miss one, I'll record it. The thing about it will be, I am not 100% sure you could get a certificate for that, for watching. I don't know how we could document that. I'd have to check with my boss. Your district might grant you PD out. You'd have to work that out with your district. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. If I'll just hang out here for a little bit more. If you have any further questions, always reach out to me on Twitter, and we'll get things going. Save you a lot of time so you can do more fun things. Okay? Keep being awesome. I really appreciate all that educators do. Have a nice day.
Thanks, Nate.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your help today too, Ashley. Appreciate it.